All right, anybody else? Mike?
I did 3 new things that I think help integrate a lot of students into the class and feel comfortable and excited about the class. I think the first thing was on the first day, I gave them resources, but I also walked them down to the Learning Center over here. So I walked each class all the way down with all the students and had the person who runs the center give a little speech on how to utilize their center. So that took about 15-20 minutes and gave them some familiarity with it. So since, and I've never had this in any class, I've had several students ask to get a referral so they can go there and use it already. So that was new because I had never tried that before, and I had pushed students to go there, but I had never walked them down and actually introduced the center. So I thought that worked. I think I did the Facebook, just like Angela. However, I didn't get a chance to get it out prior to the beginning of class. But once I got it set up by the first day, I did a couple things that I integrated into it. One is I asked the Learning Center to get on the Facebook website so that they can share information with the students and also answer questions along with the students answering questions. The other thing I did was I invited some professors from other colleges that I know that teach general chemistry or whatever the topic is, and they go on periodically now and also are able to answer questions and deal with students in that format. So they have a little bit more than just me and themselves on there. It's more, tried to make it a little bit more like a community, ideally more of an LACCD community, as opposed to just the mission. And then the only other thing, I run a different program, but I was going to use that Facebook idea for that program. So I didn't isolate it to just my classes. I'm going to use it for my honors program here, but I thought that was an interesting way to integrate beyond just the classroom to help out students in other areas and departments within the college.
Well, yeah, with the honors thing, you could hook up all the honors programs across the district.
That's what I was going to eventually try to do after I set it up here.
Wow.
I have actually communicated in the past with people at Valley and Pierce for that purpose before this class, but I didn't have the idea of using Facebook as that interactive source.
Oh, that would be great. And then imagine it, because I know, for example, at Valley, when it gets around to personal statement time, they have like these really big workshops on that. And I don't know if all of our campuses have the capacity for that, but if people who are working at this on another campus and they're on a program, they can hear about it, and maybe they could go to the workshop too, because
ideally, yeah, exactly. I wanted to have some media where people can access some of the better students from each campus, some of their projects. So that we can evaluate them and potentially, get them into scholarships and other things that are available to them from different programs, like at Irvine and UCLA. They have these kind of programs for that. So I wanted to, somehow enhance our students getting in there through scholarships and things like that. And Facebook would be a medium for everybody to be able to look at those projects.
Before I sent out an email to invite them to Facebook, and only one student joined before, so I was a little concerned until I realized I gave him the wrong group number. And I found out the night before when a second student contacted me and said he couldn't find the group. And he said the group number, and right away I knew it was the wrong one. But anyway, on my syllabus grew by 2 pages. The first day was a zoo. The first week was a zoo.
Yes.
And I mean, I had to throw people out to get the doors closed and everything. But I felt I gave them too much information. I had the student services and all that. I went through all that for about 15 minutes. But again, I thought it was too much information the first day. So in the future, I think I'm going to keep it a little lighter with a little less information the first day and finish it off the second day for an hour-and-a-half class. As far as Facebook is concerned, I have a little over 50 students, 32 have joined. Most of them have participated. I did a survey yesterday. It's actually going way better than I thought it would. And they have all kinds of ideas on how to, because in the survey we asked, if you were a teacher, would you use it and how would you use it? And so I'm getting all kinds of really good ideas about it. And they're this morning, I just went on a couple minutes ago, there's posts, so they're really using it a lot.
Hand up. Yes, sir.
It was probably the best first week I've had in 20 years.
Huh?
I did a lot of different things. The first thing was, of course, the icebreaker where they introduce each other. That went off well. Then what I did was I said, well, 7% of your grade is going to be class participation. Well, I brought in chat. So part of it is fire up chat and be able to, and I said, okay, it's your guys' game. You guys get in groups of 4 to 6 and decide how many points you want to allocate for things like a good question, a good answer, a good on-topic joke. One class it was double the regular points for a question. And for an oral question, one student will be assigned each class and they'll get full participation points to be the judge.
Oh.
And so they kind of own that. Then they started enjoying and getting into chat. This is an introductory computer class. So they like, just starting to get hands-on to it. Now, my lesson plan, of course, at that point got thrown out because the overhead projector didn't work. And from now on, I'll bring one with me. After that, I also had them do, and it's due in 2 weeks, a scavenger hunt, of course, to the Learning Center. And I went, a few days before and went and walked around and told people that there'll be a bunch of my students coming through. And I learned a lot of new things because I had never been through there.